20-minute halves, of course, 5-minute half-time. What can Scotland do here? The left side just been shut off a bit there by Wales. Driving forward. Number 3 blocked off. That's Siler Clark.
Yeah, I mean, Scotland have killed it in that corner again, so Wales have got quite a long way to get off, but their attacking play then, they were looking to run a sweeper, and it was just too far out from the Welsh line to actually cause much threat. But they've turned the ball over again, and you've got space on the left here if they can use it well. They've caught something off. Yeah,
they need to be quick, don't they? They need to get going.
They've recovered. So again, Scotland, heavy collision. So yeah, like I was saying before, it does kind of break down sometimes when you actually get the ball back in good position. Wales trying to press Scotland there, some good speed as they come on. They're going to try and get to a 5th touch play again. Yeah,
Donna McGrell is there. She's got some pace on her, hasn't she?
That's 4th.
Here we go. This is
back inside.
This is Susan Ferguson Ward, number 6.
They've got some space to the left if they can get there. Still there. Great pill. Another one.
They just don't seem to be moving forward fast enough, do they?
Now Wales have done well to shift across there. I think they read that the danger was over on that side. They survived that set.
Incidentally, Wales played earlier today. They drew 4-4 with Ireland, and Scotland played England, the table toppers, and they lost 11-1.
It's a really strong England team in this division. A lot of the girls in that team have been together for quite a while, starting a lot of them in the Women's Open and then 27s, and that team's a really strong team.
So Natasha Matthews stretching her legs a little bit, going for a long run, eventually getting touched, and the ball passes over to Scotland. They're still 1-1 though. You think Scotland will be reasonably happy?
Yeah, I think they'll be really happy. We're approaching quarter way through the game, and I think the only thing I would note is that Wales is subbing, is picking up a little bit of momentum there. Like they get into those 5th touch scoops, and they look dangerous on them. They look lively, and Scotland just need to slow them down a little bit. On the other side of the ball, this needs to be quicker for them. It needs to generate a little bit more momentum. They get into 5th, and they're a little bit too far out. They've gone through this time. We're going to have another one.
She's got to find someone.
Oh!
Is there a touch?
Ball down, the referee. Sideline referees give the touch.
Oh, great entertainment, great excitement. Scotland breaking through again, though. Number 15 running through. That's Fiona McKinnon. She was absolutely going for it, wasn't she? And it looked like she got it away.
It was. I think
couldn't see the touch, but it must have been.
I think it was a touch pass, and that was similar to what they scored off before. It was nearly the exact same score. So, if I'm Scotland, I want to go back to that. If that's what's giving me joy, I want to go back to that middle scoop. But Wales are going to reply with something pretty similar here.
Absolutely, and no doubt Wales will get wise to it pretty quick.
They're going to get a full set of 6. I think it might have been a hard touch. So it looks to me that Rachel Stevens is their strike player. The play seems to be coming through her, and on 5th touch she's picking up from half, and she's going to go into half again. This time she'll give it on that quickie, dive on the outside, and it's good D from Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely. So Scotland 1, Wales 1 here. The Welsh Dragons looking to try and get their noses in front. They will expect to win this game as well. As we said, Scotland yet to win a game so far at the European Championships. Wales are currently 2nd in the table, 3 wins to their names, 3 losses, 2 draws. So they'll be very eager. 2 of those wins against Scotland, of course. That's
really good D from Scotland. They've read that so well. What Wales are looking at, so they're 2 strike players for Wales in that pod, Rachel Stevens and Abby King. You've got Abby King, who wants to be the live player on the quickie. She wants to get the ball back and attack the touching player. You've also got Rachel Stevens at half, who's ready to pick up and take off, which she did, and Scotland read it. They've done the homework.
Yes, they certainly have, haven't they? Although they're still deadlocked at 1-0 as we approach the halfway stage of the first half. A low-scoring affair so far, and it looks like the ball gets turned over again.
A little bit of a back and forth in midfield at the minute. Neither team can kind of break that deadlock. Scotland look really dangerous when they get down to the Welsh line with momentum. They're just struggling to generate it on touches 2 and 3 at the minute, and they're kind of left chasing themselves on touches 4 and 5. Well, Wales' midfield D is really good at the minute. Yeah, I must say I haven't seen a great deal of the women's 35 Scotland team, but I'm impressed with what I have seen, and looking back at their previous scores in the research, I'm surprised. Can she get it down? It's got to be a touch there, surely.
I'm surprised they haven't at least drawn a game yet.
Yeah, especially off his first 10 minutes. Like I said, we're a quarter way through this game, and to me, like they've looked sharp. Like I said, there's a couple of things that they've got to improve on, and that's really risky, but they're making a way over. This is what they need now. They need momentum. Touch 2. I want somebody coming in on 3. That's good. You need to be around halfway on third touch, and now this needs to be quick as well. Yeah,
that's Sarah McCauley there with the pigtails driving through. And look at this, good pace.
That's just a little bit too lateral, and now that momentum's lost, they've got to come back and they've got to start again. And now this is going to be 5th. They've got to go on this, and they're just too far
back
for anything to be generated. And that's going to be the turnover.
And if you are watching this for the first time and wondering why they're not kicking on the final tackle, it's because you can't. That's why.
No kicking. Too easy.
Too easy, absolutely. Wales on the attack then, looking to drive into the Scotland half as quickly as possible. It's quite crowded there over the halfway line.
Yeah, people trying to get on, people trying to get off. There's a few tired bodies in the box at the minute, coming towards the end of day 4. I think something we spoke about with Jono this morning, just as Wales come into this attack, they're going to go short side skip with Stevens again. Ball to the right. Good D from Scotland again.
No way through there.
Really good
for Camilla Bruton.
Something we touched on this morning about Euros is normally 4 days. It's normally World Cup that's 5 days, and today I've noticed there's quite a few sort of dead rubber games where there's not much to them, they're hard to kind of get yourself up for, because tomorrow, day 5, even though you're sore and you're tired, you've got a bit of adrenaline and you're playing in those finals, you can kind of get through them even if you're sore. I think you're going to see quite a few sore, tired bodies knocking around the campus tonight.
Do you think then, based on what we've seen so far in the results between the two of these sides that have already been, are Wales just taking it a bit easy?
I'm not sure, because it seems like they're digging into their playbook a little bit.
Or are we doing Scotland a discredit here?
That's good, Hans. That's great, Hans. But again, like, Scotland are just reading everything Wales are throwing at them. It seems to me like that they're just reading things well. Like it definitely could be a case of them just learning from those previous games.
Here we go, Scotland
they're just finding it just tough to generate anything off their subbing at the minute. That's 3rd, 4th, so 5's coming and they're still in the
not even at the halfway line, are they? There they go now.
It's so tough to get anything from it.
So it's good defence by Wales. I tell you, once again for Scotland, that's Fiona McKenna. That's twice now. She's almost got through. She's a very quick. In fact, she did get through once, didn't she? Just couldn't quite. Well, she offloaded, but there was a touch along the way. So. Yeah, it's certainly a player to watch. Fiona McKenna with the red cap on.
She's danger for Scotland, and it's very similar to when Rachel Stevens comes on for Wales. She's their strike player, and both of them causing damage. It'd be great if Scotland could give her that platform to get through. Yeah,
absolutely, Rachel Stevens. Don't stop, never give up, and through they go.
Brilliant. You've been dying to get that in.
I didn't think you picked it up. Stop. If anybody knows any more S Club 7 songs, please comment.
I was thinking.
I'm struggling here.
The only one, isn't it? I'm sure that's it. 32 short on the right hand side. Good completion. Good little one-handed dive as well.
Yeah, Bethan going over there. Bethan van Scholwick. Very Welsh name, that. And Scotland get us back underway here. It's Scotland 1, Wales 2. So Wales get their noses in front for the first time in this game. There is still just over 5 minutes to go until the break. What does Scotland do here?
I think they've just got to be a little bit more patient. It's quite frantic, and they've gone into so the hip, that signal from the referee means the hips weren't square on the touch. Your hips have got to be facing your attacking goal line when you're driving down the field or when you're running those plays, and they were facing the touch line on that one. 5 minutes to go till half time. I think it'd be great if Scotland could just generate something off their subbing, even if it's just a repeat set. Like, it'd be great to see them get a full set of 6 on the Welsh line.
Here we go, Wales driving forward again. Number 13, that is Rachel Stevens, just offloading the ball there. And here we go at the 7. Can Wales make it a 2-point game?
Back into those two-man plays now, so actually going into a 32 short, so they're changing it up a little bit. Stevens off her right hand, she's got the wing free, but great D from Scotland again, unbelievable. Like that there is just attitude and chasing your opposite number down. That was really good.
Perseverance at its finest, isn't it? So Scotland survived that one, still right in this game. It's a one-score game at the minute. Scotland 1, Wales 2. Less than 4 minutes to go until the break. And this is Siler Clark absolutely motoring along. She's joint top scorer. Oh, hang on, no, it's not Siler. Is it Siler Clark? It is Siler Clark, yes. So apologies, it is Siler Clark, yes.
That's much better from Scotland. It started on touch 1. That's going to go hard, straight in. 5th, let's play off that. Just not able to. If they could have got to the middle on that play. So this is what we wanted. If you drive hard, you're going to get rewarded for it. They've got a full set of 6 on the Welsh line now. If they could have got through to a middle scoop on that last play, they might have got a score from it. Either way, full set of 6. Let's see what Scotland have got.
Yeah, big advantage now for Scotland. Can they capitalise on this?
The half's not there. Don't panic, don't panic. You've got plenty of touches. Chill, roll it back, roll it back, roll it back. Now we can break into it.
Okay, Ruth Cameron with the ball.
I think she's dummy half, but the refs have missed it.
Oh, was there an opportunity left there?
Potentially, yeah. I think I'd like them to see to run that short on the left-hand side. That was touch pass.
Oh. Again, a big opportunity for Scotland. Kind of goes to waste a little bit there. 2.5 minutes on the clock. We're heading to the break so far. Wales leading it 2-1, but it has been a very tight game in the midfield.
Yeah, I think Wales will be a bit disappointed they've not kind of kicked on and pulled away here. Maybe they will in these last couple of minutes.
Maybe not.
Too soon. Space to the left again.
So here we go. Can Scotland now? What have they learned? Can they capitalise on this one? It's the women's 35 round robin. Scotland v Wales. Scotland 1, Wales 2. Jordan is shouting, he's gesticulating everywhere. It's absolutely fine, Jordan. This is what we love.
Get down to the 7. That's all I was asking for.
Get down to the 7.
They're too far away. They're backing off to, they're too far out from the Welsh line for these moves to be effective, and that's a little bit better. But we can't be wasting those touches. So they've got a bit of a relieving penalty here. They've got to tap this and go straight forward, get to the 7, then you can run your plays. You can't be wasting all those 6 touches. For me, that's a little bit too lateral at the minute.
Did I just need to move the ball a bit quicker? Take a risk, or is that what's kept them in the game so far by not actually?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I think.
That's Fiona.
Oh,
another set of 6.
I think Bruce had just thought half was caught, but I think he realised there was he'd made a mistake. So if they can get into a sweeper, 32 short, I think they are looking at those sweepers. Danger man. Oh. Unlucky. Yeah, Fiona McKinnon wanted to come around on that sweep and attack on the outside. But
she's certainly been a danger player. Fiona, we've mentioned her a few times, haven't we?
I think they've done the right thing there, getting her in a position to be an attacking player, but they've just not been able to execute. So Wales have got 40 seconds to have another go at the Scotland line. I think they'll have a good shot here. That's 5th touch. They've run a short on that right hand side. Space is there. And that's good.
Yeah, there's a touch there, isn't there? You can just tell it just takes all momentum, everything out, doesn't it?
Got 2 young supporters trying to make sure that they're on the live stream over on that far side.
Let's give them a wave, look. They're not looking anymore.
No, maybe someone's telling them that they're on the live stream. 2
future European champions right there. Let's get them out to the game.
Yeah, I think they're having a look.
So half time, who to goes? And it is Scotland 1, Wales 2, and a very tight game so far, but Wales just edging it.
Yeah, just like it is literally just like their transition, their midfield D is much better. They're not giving Scotland much room, but when Scotland do get a bit of a roll on, this is what we see. Yeah. We see Fiona McKinnon picking up from half, being able to get through to the in goal and then look for an option. She's done it twice, they've scored off it once. If I'm Scotland, I've got to generate momentum throughout touches 1 to 4 for then 5th to be a good strike dump for McKinnon to pick up and go through, because she will. On the Welsh side of the ball, they seem quite composed and relaxed, but they're not able to convert it into scores at the minute. That's what they seem to be struggling with. When they do get a full set of 6 on the Scotland line, Scotland are dealing with it really well. They defend it out quite well, so it'll be interesting to see if Wales can kick on here. The table's telling us that Wales are the better team. At the minute, there's not much separating them. So yeah, I'd just like to see Scotland just turn it up a notch in midfield on both sides of the ball, and we could have a really interesting second 20 here.
Yeah, it's going to go one of two ways, isn't it? It's going to be an incredibly tight second half like that, low-scoring affair, or Wales are going to start to come into their own and they are going to start to get a bit of a head of steam. And if that happens, if they do score 2 in quick succession, it's just important Scotland's heads don't go down.
That's the thing as well, and I'm pretty sure Wales have got the tap off as well, and it's massive. It's huge. We said it, because Scotland did tap off. So we mentioned it just before Scotland tapped off. Most teams will have 1, 2, maybe 3 tap off moves that they're confident scoring off. I'd be very surprised if Wales don't have a tap off move that they'll run into. If they score off it 3-1, maybe they'll kick on from there, but it could be a bit of a two-way swing there. Scotland could dig it out, transition really well upfield, and before you know it, it's 2-2. So I think a lot hangs on this opening tap-off for the second half.
Absolutely. It's just turned into a bit of a wind tunnel up here at the pavilion as well. It's beautiful sunshine down pitch side and across the fields here at Nottingham University, but as soon as you come up to the pavilion, I've had my jumper on all day. It's been that cold up here, but when I go down to the field, I went to get some lunch early. People are looking at me like I'm weird because I've got a jumper on.
I know, I keep thinking that. I was watching a few of the games out on the backfields before, and I think I'm the only one in a long sleeve top. Everyone else is sunning themselves, but yeah, I tell you what, out there on fields 5 and 6, there's some unbelievable games going on. I watched the England Women's Opens against Ireland about half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago. That was a cracker, absolute cracker. I think England won by 2 or 3 in the end, but for a long time it was level. Obviously watched a couple of the Men's Opens game this morning. There's been some awesome touch going on today, and really looking forward to tomorrow now. For day 4's kind of coming to a close, you kind of start thinking ahead to tomorrow, and you can't help it. Championships, sorry, Super Saturday tomorrow.
Super Saturday. Well, they'll still have 2 more games here on Field 1 to come after this. The women's 27 round robin between Spain and
getting
Switzerland.
Ahead of myself, sorry.
And in the men's 45 round robin between Portugal and Wales. No, but I know what you mean. There's 12 games a day on each field. So when you get to like the last 2 or 3, they're all as important as each other. But they seem to go quicker and quicker as the day progresses, doesn't they? So here we go. Wales are going to get things back underway. Big advantage. They got the tap off. Can they take advantage and make this a 2-score game early on? If they can, it could transform this game. But if Scotland can hang on or even get a point back and tie the game, well, that could erupt over at the far side of the field.
Yeah, I think we keep saying it, but a lot hangs on a second half tap off, especially when the scores are so tight. So yeah, let's see what Wales have got in this tap off. I'm pretty sure they'll have a tap off move. So yeah, this should be interesting this first couple of minutes.
Can Rachel Stevens bring it all back? We're going to find out in this second half.
Terrible, absolutely terrible. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, about that. I'm not sorry at all.
You have friends and family listening and watching this. You're ruining the experience.
Rachel, I offer you my sincerest apologies.
Ian knows you'll be
I think I'm funny, but
at the after party.
Yeah, I just think I'm funny. And there is Rachel Stevens on the ball early on, hands it over to Abby King. So Wales getting the second half underway. Number 1, that's Ellen Lewin, driving forward.
So here we go. This is going to be their strike move, and it's 32 short with Rachel Stevens. Short sides open.
Oh, she down.
Touch was in. Yeah, I think Bruce has got it. So yeah, that's touch 4. So Wales have got another to play with. I wouldn't be surprised if they run it on the opposite side here. So the exact same move, but on the left-hand side. I think Rachel Stevens will step in, get that ball back. They're not going to. They're going to go into those quickies. She's going to pick up. Look to that short side, nothing on.
Oh, well done,
Scotland have defended that
just
really
blocked everything
well.
off, didn't they?
Well done, Scotland. So that's one job done. Second job, drive off hard, transition on hard, and we'll see what we can get on fifth touch. It's a good start. That's good yards on one.
Yeah, that's number 13 there for Scotland, Sarah Macaulay. She's had an impressive game so far. Gaining those yards is so important, isn't it? They're up to the halfway line now as well. And here we go. And here is
straight through. Oh, she's gone. She's gone.
It. Oh my word!
There you go.
She's threatened that a few times.
Yep, she has.
And now she's absolutely nailed it. Fiona McKinnon, take a bow, doff your cap. Fiona McKinnon has just absolutely blitzed the Welsh defence.
Rips them to shreds. I tell you what, there's a couple of times in the first half where Scotland were driving hard, but then they'd get caught on the back and have to bring the ball back, start that momentum all over again. She's took a gamble there and thought, there's a bit of a gap, I'm just going to go for it. And if I get caught, I'm going to come back. Then that's kind of that's
why not do it? It's worked.
She's gone for it, and 2-2. That's what we talked about. We talked about that two-way swing. We had Rachel Stevens, Welsh strike player, come over in this corner. She didn't score. Scotland did it out, and now they've got it back again. There's a little bit of a momentum shift here. That half-time might have come at a really good time for Scotland.
Well, can Scotland capitalise on it, though? It's one thing to have the momentum, but you've got to convert it, haven't you? And they've had a great start by getting one, but they need to keep it going, they need to capitalise, and that has just killed it completely, hasn't it?
And there's a bit of space here on the right for Wales if they can exploit it. Scotland was subbing on. Yeah, that's a tough one, that's a coach killer. Because the thing that they look like they'd changed in the second half is driving harder.
Yeah.
That's what that score came from, and
taking a risk as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it
was.
So Bethan Van Sharwick, number 5 there, scored a try in the first half, plays it out wide. Oh, and it's a drop there. Samantha Healy.
Scotland's line D has been really good this afternoon, really good, and they've carried it on to the second half. They've got to go hard on this driving. McKinnon's waiting in the box. She's waiting to come on. You've got to give her a good platform. At the minute, it's not good enough. That's way too far in your own half. Fifth touch is coming, and they're too deep. Still in their own half. That's fifth.
Just give it to Fiona and let her run. Here she is, Fiona McKinnon.
Oh, they've got it back to 1.
Oh,
huge.
She's making a difference. So it's a team game, isn't it? But Fiona McKinnon is to stand out at the minute.
What? We talked about it yesterday. I think it might have been Jono actually. Touch is sometimes it's quite similar to basketball in that you have your kind of marquee strike player, and then you have your supporting cast. You've got to have a Scottie Pippen to the MJ.
I like the reference. I like the reference.
And that touch is very similar to basketball in that way.
And a bit of NFL as well. You're wearing a Cardinals jumper at the minute. You've got to make those yards, haven't you?
Correct.
Yards, push.
And each team will have a quarterback that throws pills. And it honestly, you're not far off being right, because you'll see it tomorrow. You'll see it tomorrow in the Opens games. There'll be players that can just throw monster pills left to right.
Yeah.
But most of the time, they've got to pick options, and there'll be a good 5 options that they've got to pick from, and they've got to pick them in about. They've got half a second to pick the correct one. It's that much of a window. So even though it's awesome seeing a long ball go over the top, that ball player has selected that option in a millisecond, because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 options to pick from. And it's same as a quarterback. Quarterback's dropping back. He's looking at all his options, and he's got to pick the right one.
Oh, look,
Rachel Stevens,
Rachel Stevens, can she find someone?
Oh!
No!
Good D from Scotland to chase it down. They've got to put her under pressure there. That's great.
They kept their head in the game. Rachel Stevens, great stuff there.
That's awesome.
It was Joanna Seymour, unfortunately unable to get the ball grounded.
Quarter away through this second half, and Scotland will be buzzing with this.
You know, talking of long throws and your pills that you like so much, I was chatting to Greg Taylor earlier, the vastly experienced referee, earned his 100th international referee cap yesterday. He's saying when you go to the World Cup, look out for Papua New Guinea. Apparently they can throw it some distance.
Yeah, we've played them quite a few times, and they've got a great running game, but I think most teams at the higher level, they always have, 2, 3, maybe 4 really good ball players that can pick out those wing options. And sometimes it's not just about how the length of the pass, it's about this pass selection. And you'll notice tomorrow sometimes they'll go through different channels. Good yards from there.
Wales need to get over here.
Good yards again, half court.
That was great stuff. That was Rachel Letman, number 8 there. She's the top top try scorer, I should say. I keep referring it to goals. The try scores for Wales, with 6 so far in the tournament. And Scotland have it back.
Oh, they've left her on her own. They've done that a few times, Scotland. I don't know whether it's a lack of communication, where they'll drive one to the middle, they'll drive the second to the box, and then instead of one more player staying on to drive for the third, somebody's going off and wanting to get off the field. And I get it, we're tired, but we've got to do that extra little bit of work to help my teammates out. So I think they really need to show that up, because like we keep saying, if they can get to 5th touch with a good strike in a good position, they are dangerous. Yeah,
if you are just tuning in, hello, good afternoon. We're here at Nottingham University. It is a 2022 European Touch Championship. It's the women's 35 round robin match between Scotland and Wales. We're deadlocked at 2-2, but Wales in possession and driving forward.
Yep, Stevens back on the ball. She's outside of the link. Ball down, score.
And it's Tiawa time again here in Nottingham. Wales just getting their noses ahead again, but it's still only a 1-score game. It's Scotland 2, Wales 3. Let's have a look at the replay.
Stevens is that quick. She's got outside the middle, then a link, and I think she thought she's in that much space. I think she thought she was half for a bit, but then dotted the ball down. Wales look really good when she's on the field. Really good.
Both teams have certain notable players so far. I like to do a player of the match, and for me so far, Fiona McKinnon's right up there. So is Rachel Stevens.
Yeah, those are the 2 players. I mean, sometimes, especially when you don't know teams that well, or you've not seen them play that much before, you can kind of tell who the strike players are really early on, and who their on-field generals are, who their on-field coaches are, and those 2 are definitely the strike players for both teams. McKinnon wants it back on that quickie. Oh, she doesn't get it. She's slipped over there. She's all right, so we'll play on. A little bit of a limp as she comes back into the line, but she soldiers on, and Wales will break back into that deadly transition. They move towards the box, so what Wales have there is that 3rd drive in. That's the one that's killing Scotland, and 4 even quicker. We're going to get to 5th touch.
The better Wales, aren't they, getting the more touches into the Scottish half?
Yeah, it's just quicker, it's with a little bit more intent.
Oh.
It would have been nice to see there if they'd have got back to the middle for a 33 scoop, because there was a lot of space to the left hand side for Stevens to run into. But they've killed the ball in a good position. Scotland have got a long way to get over, and they're really struggling to get to the box at the minute.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Tackles are racking up already, and they're not even anywhere near the halfway line just as yet.
5 come in, and they've got to scoop from their own half or feed it on. Got to make something from nothing, and it's a turnover again. I think they might have lost the count a little bit there. They might have thought they had 1 extra touch, and that's just credit to how good Wales midfield D actually is.
You have somebody shouting at the sidelines there, don't you? Touches?
Yeah, so sometimes you'll hear box wingers or your far side winger calling out the touches, but sometimes they won't. It's the referee. Sometimes the referees call it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's going that quick and you just kind of lose the count, and especially when you're being put under that much pressure. Like when Wales get this midfield D right, they're not letting Scotland breathe, and I think that's the reason they're 1 up at the minute. We've got 10 minutes to go. Wales will look to start to close this one out if they can.
I've seen for Wales, number 4 Natasha Matthews and number 8 Rachel Letman. They've been teaming up quite well in this game so far, and they're both right in the heart of the midfield. and it seems to be getting the ball off to each other well.
Yeah, so, that's a great pill. Right to left, and they'll use the
down
wing
they
as
go.
well. I think he's given forward.
Oh,
He has.
Oh, a let off for Scotland. Exciting stuff. It's Scotland 2, Wales 3. It's the women's 35 round robin, day 4 of the 2022 European Touch Championship.
I'll tell you what's even more exciting. Ben Meakin has just offered to take me for a takeaway tonight.
No.
Take me for a takeaway. Offered me
Take you for a takeaway.
Yeah, take me for a takeaway.
Who's going to make you stand in a queue?
Yeah.
What he means is he's going to send you out to go get it.
Yeah. He's going getting it.
Here's a question for you then. Chinese or Indian?
Tonight?
Well, just in general. Which is your favourite? It's
too
hard,
hard,
isn't it?
that.
Depends on mood, I suppose.
That's too hard. I might ask that for my next interview.
How about there's the touch there. How about your last meal? What's your last meal?
My last meal, I'm instinctively going pizza.
Pizza? Okay.
But I do like a good steak, like a really nice steak.
Yeah. Nice fillet steak.
That's really tough. That I'm going sirloin.
So okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Nice and bloody. Some really nice chips.
Some really nice chips, absolutely.
But yeah, I do like a good pizza.
Right, back to the game because we're getting hungry now. And Fiona McKinnon on the ball again for Scotland, trying to drive forward, but it's now time for Wales get back onto the attack. And Scotland managed to push a bit further up that time, but they haven't really troubled the Welsh half a great deal in the last 5 minutes or so.
No. As the game wearing on a little bit as well, obviously it was tough to get that momentum off driving anyway, but as the legs get a little bit more tired, Wales seem to just have a little bit more in their step when they get down to the line, and Stevens will set up for a middle scoop. She's found a hole, but there's good defence coming in from this side for Scotland. They're staying in this game. Wales haven't shut the door yet. They're leaving it open for Scotland.
Well, you can see it happening. It's still a one-score game. We've got
anything can happen.
7.5 minutes left to go, so there's still plenty of time on the clock. It's just whether fatigue's going to be a factor. A few unforced errors going to be a factor. Can Wales?
They could have got that ball away then. There's some space on the left here. Yeah, I think.
Oh.
You said it before, but I think you've got to start taking chances if you're Scotland. And when they were coming on then, Wales were so compact over to Scotland's box. If they could have just found one little tip on pass, I think that's what you're looking for. So when Wales are pressuring Scotland, woof.
We have seen it a few times, haven't we, with Scotland, that they just seem to take a bit longer than Wales to get the ball moving at the start of play, and it looks like it's just costing him. Is that just an experience thing? Is that just
I think
just a coaching thing?
Potentially, I think it's just it looks a little bit too lateral at the minute. That's good feet, good defence from Scotland, but it's going to get offside, I think.
But we saw there the speed of Wales then, okay, got pulled for offside and there was a touch, but they were going for it. They were actively looking for the gaps. They were pushing hard, whereas sometimes with Scotland it feels like they just stop, bring the ball back a bit, wait to see what's going on around, and it's always going to be 6 on 6, so you're going to have to make a move at some point, although not to discredit them because they have scored a couple of excellent tries as well. It's
been a good little back and forth game. We've had like a really good midfield battle between both teams, and I'm just looking for somebody to kind of take the game by the scruff of the neck, and you've got to say it's either going to be McKinnon or Stevens that do that, and you just want one of them to kind of go, right, I'm taking this game now, let's finish it off, or no one sees to want to finish this game at the minute.
It's out there for somebody, isn't it?
100%,
it really is.
100%. Wales could have shut the door 5-10 minutes ago if they wanted to, and they've not been able to do it yet. They might be able to on this set. Stevens is coming on. They're going to get back to the middle. She's going to set herself for a scoop if she can. There's a little bit of space to the left, but they're going to save it till 5th.
And there is
Stevens. She's got one more touch to play with. Back to the middle.
She's going to drive
straight back into a quickie. Bit of space to the right. Scotland remaining nice and calm. and that's the turnover. Well done, Scotland.
Yeah, they just kept the calm, they kept the
they
composure. Just shut the door on Wales.
100%. They did so well to recover there because Wales had so much momentum. They bent the line out of shape, and I was expecting Wales to put the game on ice then, but door's still open.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes to go. It's certainly the lowest scoring game I've seen this week. I don't think it has been the lowest. I think there was a 2-1 somewhere out on one of the outer fields at some point this week, but 3-2.
Bit of space to the left.
McKinnon
through, maybe?
No, there's the touch, but we know she's got the pace.
I thought she'd done it again.
She could just break that gap. You talk about players taking a scruff of the neck. You mentioned Fiona, and she almost did it then.
Yeah, we keep saying it, but they're kind of left chasing the tails on touches 4 and 5. They're leaving themselves a little bit too much work to do, and Wales have got already approaching the Scotland line.
Yeah, they have. Wales, you can tell they are slightly the better side.
Great touch.
What a touch.
Great touch. Great recovery.
It was Samantha Healy for Wales, almost going over the line, but not quite getting the ball grounded before a touch comes in, but it's still Wales on the ball. Another opportunity here. Can they make this a 2-score game? Can they? There is space. Oh no, can't quite get that hands on it.
We're still on. Still again.
You know, I can see Scotland in the very last second of just getting over
it. What?
It's made for it, isn't it?
I can.
I can see Fiona McKinnon breaking the defence and legging it from the halfway line all the way over.
Yeah, but the way Wales are defending in midfield, like, it's just tenacious. That's much better from Scotland. They can go off that, and there's a bit of space in the middle. They might play through. That's back to 1. Oh, sir.
Ambitious play from Scotland.
Unless they've given the touch, there, that's back to 1 for me. I think Scotland will feel hard done to.
Yeah, that is a shame for Scotland. Of course, I have to sit on the fence, but Jordan can say whatever he wants.
I can say what I want. It's always past the watershed.
Here we go, Wales back into this Scotland half. It's finally poised here in the women's 35 round robin. Scotland 2, Wales 3. Time is ticking on. Just over 2 minutes to go. This game is still up for grabs.
Play through. Is this it? Boy, I think she's got it at the back of the in goal.
Oh.
Yeah. So her feet were out the back of the dead ball before she could get it down.
Oh, I want to have a look at this because I thought she grounded it in the right place.
Play on. Pass to the wing, and the feet are just out before she gets it down.
Oh no. Samantha Healy there. A few times she's gone over, thought she's had it.
I was
but
just
not
about to say
to
Scotland would be given another chance, but they've given the ball up to Wales. If Wales can score here, it's game over. If Scotland can get the ball back in the next 30 seconds or so, they've got a chance to level it before we hit the hooter. 32 short from Wales. Is this it?
This is going right down to the wire. Can Wales kill the game?
Is that ball down? No decision from the refs.
And she looks a bit hurt, unfortunately. I hope she's actually getting onto her feet. That's a good sign. Was that number 12? It is. It's Abby King. I think she took a bit of a hard fall. It's her knee strapped up as well. Hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, I hope she's all right.
But Wales have the ball. The time is ticking. We've got less than a minute on the clock now.
That's the thing with injuries. You know, the clock can't be stopped. You know, and that's taking up some time for Wales. And time is against Scotland here, but that's a great score.
There you go, and that wins the game.
That's your game. And it was the play that they ran on the right-hand side a couple of minutes earlier. She scooped through, she skirted the in goal, and this time they can dot the ball down and finish it off. On the in this pod of players, like you said, Rachel Letman's the one that's the strike player in that pod of players, and we've talked up, we've bigged up 2 players for Wales and Scotland all the way through. Rachel Stevens on one side of the ball, Fiona McKinnon on the other side, but it's actually Rachel Letman that's put the game on ice for Wales, and I think they deserve that one. They had the noses just ahead throughout, and I wouldn't say they never felt they always felt uncomfortable, or sorry, they never felt comfortable, but yeah, they deserve that win
Based on previous results, though, Scotland have got to be happy.
I'd be really happy with that. At the same time, you'll kind of feel a bit disappointed because I think that was there to win, or at least to draw. And I think that they had the time, they had the chances to get something from that game. So yeah, they will take stuff from it. Like we said, it's all a learning experience, but at the same time, there'll be that in the back of your head that thinks, oh, we could have got a win there. And yeah, but no, that was an entertaining game. It's great to see all the players coming together for 3 cheers at the end. Always good to see. Just off camera to the left, but yeah.
Joint photo it looks like as well. What could have been for Scotland, but it was still an impressive performance anyway. It ends